Okay. Hello, fellow traders. 'Tis I, TheRumpledOne, coming to you Thursday, February the 9th. The year's 2023. Let's talk trading. What waiting looks like, part 3 with Walmal. These videos are for educational purposes only. Your results may differ from mine and differ from Walmal's. Well, the past couple of days, Walmal gave us his take on trading. I was kind of interviewing him, so now he's going to, I guess, interview me what trading, what waiting looks like to me.
I think I said in the beginning, for me, waiting started for me, or starts for me before I even get into my first trade. So what are your thoughts about that?
Well, I guess part of the thing is sometimes there's a couple of YouTube videos I like to watch or have playing in the background. One is that Zen Mind, where I like to say be the leaf, where you just follow the way the flow is taking you, the river. And then the other one is that Evan Longoria video, where he one of the things he says is be where you need to be when you need to be there, which is so important in trading because it uh, just missing by a split second could be the difference between profit and loss.
Yeah, I've certainly seen that today in my trading, where where just because the way things were going, where I'd okay, it's time to go and exit. Oh, it's gone already. Or oh man, I could have exited there, but I couldn't because it just market moves so fast that it's just not possible.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got to wait. You got to wait, but at the same time, you got to be wait with, and like you to comment on this, but you got to wait with anticipation.
Right. And then, so after that, then I look at one of my screens that I call the map, where it's an H4 chart. And I just look at, where price is, where price may need to go. And a lot of times I'll call out, okay, price needs to get here. So like right now I'm looking at M1 and I'm looking at this huge return bar, big white bar that has an open of 72. So I'm thinking, you know what, price probably needs to get back down to that 72 level.
Yeah.
And so that's something I might wait for. Now, if I'm in a trade, what waiting looks like is frustration. It's like, come on, come on, I start to almost become a cheerleader. It's pretty funny. But then waiting, in that case, I have to start telling myself certain things like, like literally sit on your hands, let the market do the work. Or put my TP in, put my stuff, and then just be like the like we like to call it, the market profile or market structure traders, where they just literally say, okay, it either hits here for TP or hits here for loss, and I'm not doing anything. And some of them do. They might take some partial profits if they see price struggling, or just to maybe manage their emotions, because that's the big thing. And then waiting also just kind of looks like um, checking, my emotions, my head space, where, am I frustrated? Am I tense? Am I, prone to reaction? And then also, I have a whole stack of 3x5 cards, even though a lot of times I'll use the My Notes indicator and I'll have things on my charts. But sometimes I like to flip through the cards because it's more of a physical thing, especially if price isn't anywhere near my stop loss or TP. And it'd be like, okay, I'm short. I need to, am I going against the candle colors, or am I going with the candle colors? Am I thinking, should I take 2 pips? Should I go for more? And it's just a constant, it's kind of almost like in programming, it's a loop where I keep going over the same things over and over and over again.
Right. Yeah, and the thing is, I think that's important because at least I know with me, what can happen is you can wind up getting tunnel vision, and price could be moving away from where you want it to be moving, or moving towards where you want it to move, and you get so tunneled on watching it because you're just staring at the screen. sometimes what's going to happen is it can move out of where you really need to be, and next thing you're either in trouble or potentially you're in great shape, but you don't even know it. And I like that idea of just going through your cards, like a loop, and that way you're just checking, 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 checking. I think that's really valid point. Good observation there.
Yeah, because it's like the cards aren't like, it's not like a trading plan, but it's just different pieces, kind of like snippets, remember this, remember that, blah, blah, blah kind of thing.
Right, right. So, and now in terms of your waiting, is as you wait, do you change up where your anticipated stop loss would be or your anticipated TP would be?
No, not usually, because it's usually so far away, there's no reason to change. Because as you know, since we've been talking on the phone for years now, how many times, long term, I'm pretty accurate, but I do have a tendency of being Mr. Inflection Point. Like just now, I had a TP set at 81, and the ask just didn't get quite down to it because I was short, and so now it's run against me 4 pips. Pretty funny.
Yeah, well, that's unfortunately that's part of trading, and so then the question is, you know, your money management starts to kick in. At least for me, anyway, my money management rules start to kick in. Do I wait here? Do I think it's going to go back down there and challenge it again? Um, and protect what you have won, so that you don't wind up losing it, or if it's the beginning of the day, you don't get down so far that you have to go call it quits for the day.
Right.
So at least for me, that's very, very important, and I'm sure it is for you as well.
Right. And so, like on this one particular trade, I'll switch back over to the M30 chart where the distance between the close and the indicator 2 under the this indicator here, this was like, I think it was 24.5. And so I was like, you know what? I'm pretty confident taking a short there, um, because usually if you notice, more often than not, the price will come back towards that indicator 2 dot. And guess what? My trades just exited.
Nice.
Because it's on my other account. I use one account here. Actually, the account I use here in the videos, it is a live trading account, but I'm doing, I have a different trading account that I was been trading on, so it wasn't on this one. Um, but so what I'm waiting for in this particular case, when price was going up, I'm waiting for the multimeter to show me at least 18, and then it's like one of those things where this is where I have to sit on my hands because I know a lot of times, sure, price could come back down, and I might have to get in, at less than 18 away. But I also know that when it was 18 away, had I jumped in, I think it got up to almost 30 away or 27 away. And that would have meant drawdown as opposed to getting a trade where I don't have that added stress.
Right, right.
So
And that's
waiting in that case is just literally waiting for the new M30 candle to form. And so you see this M30 candle, I think had it open at 91 something, and it's at 81. Well, there's 10 pips.
right. Now, and I know the answer to this question, that's why I'm asking it. Are there particular candles that you like to wait on and you just don't like trading on that particular candle because it seems to not work in your favor?
Well, one of the things I know when I look at my troubles, it's when I go against the M30 candle color. And because you're the one that really got me on the M30, because before I used to always say don't go against the H1. But
Right.
when I did that, we were doing the talking about candles covering, meaning So for example, in this candle here, looking back, this candle closed up. Well, this candle, you can see the high is above the close and the low is above the open. So that candle body got covered. And it's just amazing how many times these candle bodies get covered, you know.
Right.
And so when they don't, that's when you're in a breakout situation. When they do, you're in a ranging situation. So,
Yeah.
so and then H4, I really don't like trading against H4 a lot of times either, because once again, when you look at H4, you get what I call freight trains or steamrollers, these huge candles, like the previous H4 candle was huge.
Right.
And the
Yeah.
one
I know.
before that was huge. I mean, we're talking between those two candles, it looks like over 100 pips.
Yeah. I know my current H4 candle right now. I know we're on two different brokers right now, but my current H4 candle is 112 pips.
Yes, yeah, we've got different H4 times because mine, the current H4 candle, let's see, is 16. The last one was 61, and the one before that was 57. So,
Right. Now, I also know that you do something in terms of waiting at the top of the hour. Can you explain that?
oh yeah, I try not to trade the first minute of the hour. I know you like to, but it for whatever reason it usually doesn't work out well for me. So it's one of those things where, and that's why I have those little 3x5 cards, or take notes, or some people call it journaling. Um, just things. If you start to see, well, what quote unquote went wrong. Not that it's really wrong, but um, it, you see where your difficulties are. So, like I started a new sheet. So I jumped in a trade. I jumped in long after a long return bar. So, so. Let's just say here on this H4, there's this long return bar. Then if I jumped in, um, let's see, actually jumped in long after long return bar. In this case, it would have paid off, but a lot of times return bar will come back against you. So for example, right here on this return bar, you can see jumping in long, I would have gotten crushed. So that's just one of the things that's like, I just have to double check myself. And then a few days ago, I forgot about the news that was coming out, and I was on the wrong side of the trade. Um, and then sometimes when I get in a trade, say I had been short down here and it went against me, then if I was going to average in, I'm going to have to make sure I average in somewhere near that top. Um,
Right.
and then there was one, I didn't take 2 pip profits several times where I was up 2 pips, but I was, call it being greedy, or call it reading the chart, or believing my own press releases where price would go. And then it just, puts me in the drawdown. I'm up 2, next thing I know I'm down 2. Then I'm up 2, then I know I'm down 2. That can wear on your mind,
Yeah.
and there's only so much mental energy that you have. And then one of the things I also don't like to do is, we all know the 3 ball. Um, see, it's right here. It's saying short bias. Don't trade long against a 2 ball or a 3 ball. 1 ball,
Right.
that's if it's on top. Like if this was a 1 ball, it might push higher. But if this is a 2 ball or 3 ball, it's almost like, no, just let the indicator tell you which way to trade. And so you know what? Once again, the fastest 15 minutes in trading is just about over. So those are some of my takes on waiting. And basically, it's active waiting, where you're analyzing either what's on the chart, what's in your head, or your plan, because it's not what you trade, it's how you trade it. So go out there and drain the banks. This is the Rumpled One, over and out.